Hi everybody, Chris Stokes from Custom Fitness Personal Training Studio here talking to you today about time management. It's time that we all take a step back and stop letting time manage us, and rather we start to turn that in a different direction. So why would we want to? Well, self-care has become a huge thing that is largely ignored by most Americans. Plenty of other countries encourage self-care, from taking time off work to taking time for yourself, going to vacation, just taking a break during the day to breathe and relax a little bit, get your mind set again. Really, in America, we are trained, raised to work 24/7, take as few breaks as possible. I mean, if you look into the statistics of how many people leave vacation time on the table that don't even take it, and maybe they get a payback for it later, but either way, they haven't taken time to take care of themselves. No amount of money will rebuild your health at a certain point, right? So we want to start to take care of ourselves, pay attention to how we're doing, and then help ourselves to be as healthy and well as we can be so that we can continue doing the things that we want to do. So what is self-care? Well, self-care can be anything from taking 5 minutes to deep breathe, to taking a 30-minute break to go walk around the park, or to eat your lunch calmly instead of shoving it down while you're in the middle of a video conference or something. It could be going to an exercise session. It could be getting in a healthy meal. There's a lot of different ways that we can do self-care, but the first thing is that we have to realize that that's about taking time for us. If you've been watching for a while, you've probably heard me say that you are the bottom of your pyramid, and your friends, your family, your coworkers, everybody kind of stacks up on that pyramid, and if you start to chip away the bottom of that, eventually the pyramid falls over. You can't do the things that you want to do or take care of the people that you want to take care of if you're not taking care of yourself first. Our bodies require us to take care of them, from an energy standpoint by eating well, and from an exercise standpoint to making us feel and move well, even to a mental and emotional standpoint of just being sound mind. We have to have a lot of areas working together in order to make up this area of self-care, but it really doesn't have to be as huge as what most people think it does. Like I said, it could be as little as 5 minutes a day, it could be 30 minutes a day, it could be an hour a day. It depends on what you have time for. And that's always the tricky question, right? So first we have to decide, is it worth it to us? What is the self-care that we need to do? And is that self-care something that is important to you personally? So we know that it is important because, again, it keeps your body running, it helps you to do all the things in life that you want to do, but has it become enough an issue yet to where it's important to you? And through that, you're doing basically an internal assessment of how important is this? And if it's really important, you're going to make time for it. If you're not quite at the point where you feel like it's really important, then you may not be making time for it yet. So that's where, as we have people come in and talk to us, we have that conversation to start things off. How do you feel about the time that you're ready to commit in this, really in this endeavor of health? Because we want to make sure that we provide them with the right things to do what they're wanting to do. Now, does that mean that we can't help somebody who doesn't have a lot of time? No, those are actually some of our best clients. We really are able to give very efficient workouts in very short amount of time. We're able to give efficient meal nutrition help that they can find answers anywhere that they're at and be able to pick and choose what they do. There's a lot of ways that we can help those people who don't yet feel like they have the time, because when it hasn't been a priority up to now, you haven't been budgeting it into your schedule, then it's very hard to feel like you have extra time on your hands, right? So time budgeting is a huge thing. So after you take that assessment internally, you figure out how important this is to you. Is it worth my time? And you say, yes, it's worth my time. Okay, how do we do that? Well, we start off by scheduling it, even if it's that small 5 minutes a day. Okay, so we come up with exercises that we can give people in 5 minutes and they can get some sort of workout. Is it going to get them to their ultimate goal of losing 50 pounds? No, but it's going to start the process of making time for themselves so that they can do that. So we want to schedule it. We want to put it on your planner, whether that is a paper planner, it's an electronic planner. Put it in there and don't schedule over it. That important meeting with you is just as important as your meeting with your next client or your next patient. Even your dinners with your friends, you've got to make sure that you take care of you first. So second, we've got to limit distractions. If you're scheduling you time in the middle of a busy office, or in the middle of your crazy house where the phone's ringing, the laundry's going, the kids are screaming, it's going to be really hard to take that time for you. But if you'll kind of plan that out as to, you know what, I'm going to take that time for me at work during lunch, I can go out to my car and be myself. or I can go out to the park and be by myself, or I can go to this workout class and leave the kids with so-and-so to watch them. There's ways to work around it, and yes, it does take getting out of your box of comfort, which so often I am pulled out of. I tend to build up those walls faster than anybody and then get yanked right back out of there. We have to get pulled out of that comfort zone and find a new normal, find something that is healthier to be able to take care of ourselves. So we got to limit those distractions, because how easy is it to say, yes, I'm going to get my workout in at home, and the phone rings and you're like, oh, I'll do that later. And you go and answer the phone, or the laundry gets done, you go and grab the laundry and you're going to get that done later. So really pay attention to your surroundings, the environment, but also the people around you and kind of what's happening, so that you can plan a minimal distraction during that small amount of time just for you. Now, the last thing is to make it enjoyable to make it happen. So if you're going to do something new, you're already trying to cram it into a tight schedule that your brain's like, I don't know if this is worth it yet or not. And then you're trying to push something that's really not enjoyable into that. It's very, very likely that it's not going to last very long, and your brain's going to kick around and say, you know what, we're done with this. No reason to continue on. So instead, let's focus on making it something that you enjoy. If it's going for a walk, if it's walking with friends, if it's going to an exercise class with friends, if it's learning how to cook with friends. A lot of times those things are enjoyable to people. Maybe it's not who you're with, maybe it's what you're doing. Maybe you keep trying to cook chicken and salad, and you really should be cooking something more elaborate and more fun. Find what works for you to make it enjoyable, and being just the fact that it's enjoyable will make it be more consistent within your life. So the next time that you start to think, I don't have time for this, start to turn that around on that evaluation process and figure out what you do have time for and what you do want in your life. And that'll start to bring you into a better place of health. Hope you got something great out of today. If you would like some help making those little bits and pieces part of your life, feel free to give us a call, 806-322-3188. I'd be happy to sit down with you and just see if we're a good fit. Have a great one.